I'm often asked if I myself am able to communicate with my loved ones. And today I want to share a very personal and very deep and life-changing story of one of my loved ones coming through to me. I'm Lupita Gurule. Thank you so much for being here and watching my channel. I shared recently that my brother passed away on January 31st, 2022, just a few months ago. It was a devastating loss because it was completely unexpected. What makes this story, this experience that I'm about to share with you so profound is that while in life and in alive, my brother Sevastian did not agree with what I do. In fact, it created a huge rift and a misunderstanding within my very close-knit, tight family for almost a decade. It took a lot for us to recover. And that wasn't the only reason why. There was a lot that we had to overcome as a family, as most families do, but that was a big reason. I'll share all about that at another time, and I've already shared about it, is that the gist of it was growing up in a very traditional northern New Mexico Hispanic Catholic family, where we were taught that to seek out or have any dealings with people such as myself, psychics, mediums, tarot readers, astrologers, and anything of the like, anything metaphysical, was indeed wrong and even considered to be a sin. So after I died for approximately 8 minutes on June 5th, 2000, I had a profound experience on the other side. I had a profound experience of being received by the Blessed Mother and her Immaculate Heart conjoined with the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And after that receiving and embracing, there was a whole experience that I had, an eternity on the other side within those 8 minutes in my preparation for my return. And upon my return, I discovered that I have this ability to sense and feel other people. And because of that, there was a huge misunderstanding of what it is. In our tradition, we're not taught about gifts of the Spirit, and we're not taught about Christian mysticism. And so I didn't have the language to be able to express it to my brother while he was alive. Because I didn't have the language, I used the layman terms that I'm most familiar with, which is psychic and medium. But I've since discovered that is actually not the case. Not at all. Far from it, in fact. But it is part of it. So when my brother passed away on January 31st, 9 days after his passing, I had a profound experience with him. We were exhausted, as families are, very little sleep, so much distraught feelings and emotions, just a lot of anguish and grief, and so very little sleep. 9 days after his passing, I was exhausted and getting ready for bed. And I was thinking about all of the things that I needed to do the following day because there's just so much that, of course, needs to get done when planning services and when a family rallies together for their grieving and then just to process what has happened because it was such a shock. So I got into bed and I ended up getting my telephone and was voice recording some little tasks for myself to do. And I all of a sudden felt the presence of my brother as I was half awake, half asleep, and in this open, relaxed state. There was a message that was conveyed from him to me. We may not seek, no, we forever seek approval in life, but we may not always get it. Acceptance, approval, all of those different things. And that was a huge thing that I carried within myself. So a big part of my experience has been resisting and kind of holding back, only out of fear of what, others may think, and out of respecting my brother and thinking, well, maybe I should kind of squelch, down and kind of really think about what it is that I want to share. And it's driving me nuts. So without further ado, it's more about just letting go. I can only be me, and I can only show up as authentically as I can in my truth. So on February 9th, 2022, while I was at my father's home, going to bed in the sacred mountains of Sangre de Cristo Mountains in the city of Santa Fe, so the Blood of Christ Mountains in our city of Holy Faith, I was deep in prayer after having done all of my little to-do list, and where he came through with a message for my sister, for my brother, for my tío, for myself. And all of this was given in Spanish. Our first language was Spanish because my dad was studying to be a bilingual educator at Highland University. And so the language that my brother Sebastian and I first spoke was Spanish. So his whole message to me was entirely in Spanish, which was incredible. And the gist of it is, carnalita, yo no sabía. Yo tenía mucho miedo cuando estaba vivo. Y por eso yo no podía hablar contigo de todo eso. Little sister, I am so sorry that I had so much fear in my life while I was alive, and so I couldn't talk to you about these things that are so important. But here I am on the other side, and all I want is my family to know that I am okay, that I made it, that I'm with our mama and papa and with my unborn grandson. And all I want them to know is that I'm okay. And unless there are people like you that can tell them, how are they supposed to know? I had no idea what you are, but our Blessed Mother, she showed me. She showed me what you are. She showed me what you are and who you are. That not only do you carry her name, Maria Guadalupe, like our mom, Bernadette Maria Guadalupe, but she has given a part of herself in you. And then I remembered my near-death experience. And it's not so much that it was a remembrance, but I was fully immersed in that experience with my brother and then all of a sudden drawn to that same place. And what I heard and felt was her on February 9th with my brother. This profound experience of her. And then saying, Tú eres vivo en esta vida porque yo puse un parte de mí adentro en ti. Y sí es la verdad. Mi fuego con mi corazón, conjunto con mi hijo, es un parte adentro en ti. Y sí es la verdad. You have returned alive in life because I have put a part of my fire within you. Wow. February 9th, 2022, that experience with my brother. And after that experience with him and feeling her presence, the following day, as one of the errands that I needed to do was to buy a pair of slacks for my son for the services. So I was at our local, Ross outlet store. And if you've ever been to one of those stores, it's incredible. They have so many wonderful, amazing things, but it's an outlet and you have to really dig deep on all of these things. Well, I was just in this place as a person who's processing grief often does. I was distracted and just wandering deep in thought. And then all of a sudden, I felt my mom. And I had this image of this square with this really beautiful sparkles around it. And I heard my mom, just, it's okay, just take a breath. And where I happened to be standing was nowhere near the men's slacks. I happened to be right in front of a rack of all kinds of different blouses and shirts and t-shirts and all kinds of stuff in the women's section. And I felt my brother. So my mom, while in life, had a nickname for each one of us kids. My brother was her strength, me, her wisdom, my brother Miguel, courage, my sister Daniela, faith, my dad was her love, and I have called my mom our beauty. So, with my brother being known in our family as strength, I all of a sudden I felt him and I just needed to get out of there to continue to finish all of the other errands that I needed to do. And I also heard him. Yeah, carnalita, just take a breath. And as I was standing right in front of that rack, I heard him say, a part of me is also in you. You can do this. You can be strong too. Part of my strength is in you. And so I took a deep breath. I put my hand on my heart and I opened my eyes. And in front of me on this rack was this very blouse that I'm wearing. The only one of its kind, the only one there on this rack. And this is what it says, was keep your head and your heart strong. So of course I had to get it. And then I heard my mama, oh, I have the most perfect pair of earrings that'll go with that. My mama was a lover of beautiful things. She had so much jewelry and she was an Avon representative. So a lot of the jewelry that we have is Avon. So a lot of the stuff that you see me wear, I actually received from my mom. And we still had a lot of objects and belongings that we had to go through. And I heard her say this to me, that she had a set of jewelry that would go perfectly with it. So I let it go. And then about a month ago, as we were cleaning out a storage unit with all of my mom's things, many of the things that we had to go through was boxes and boxes and boxes of jewelry. And I went straight to one of the boxes, an Avon box, and it was filled with tons of little black square Avon boxes. And I picked up one box, and this set happened to be in it. And it actually comes with a little set of earrings. And I realized that it was that square with the sparkles that I had seen. So I listen, I pay attention. Our loved ones do come through to us in the craziest kinds of ways. We just have to pay attention to what calls our attention. And so many times we dismiss it to say, nah, I think I imagined the whole thing. And I often say, well, that's great, because our imagination is our ability of our brain to perceive and process information of the unseen. So, yes, let kids use their imagination, and may we as adults learn to reconnect to our imagination, so that we can process, perceive, and receive information of the unseen, our loved ones, our guides, our angels. All of that does exist. So my brother's final message to me was, I am so sorry. I ask for your forgiveness. I had no idea. I was too afraid in life. Please tell my family that I am okay. My grandson is beautiful. Tell them I love them. If you want to share this message with them, you might. But because they knew how afraid I was in life, it might take a little while. And they need to get to know you for exactly as you are. So that was my recent experience with my brother, with a profound experience that I had. And the reason that so much of my personal experience is intertwined with the Blessed Mother is because of my own personal devotion, my own lens. Every single one of us has our own unique experience. And because this is the way that it has appeared and shown to me, uh, I've also been shown that anything and everything that can exist does indeed exist. And what I have since understood more than ever is that because I died, because I was received by the Blessed Mother, because of this whole experience, I was given and gifted the ability to soul read. And that is why I do not know what comes in front of during sessions, and that it's not just psychic information. And the reason they call it psychic is because it's information known by other unknown means. But what happens with me is that I'm not tapping into a field of energy or anything else. What I was shown is that I am able to attune to the soul essence of another when given the great honor and permission to do so. That from my near-death experience, that upon my return, I was given the ability to soul read. And the best thing that I have found that describes all of this is in Corinthians 12, where it talks all about the gifts of the Spirit. So my greatest confession is that I am not a psychic or a medium in the traditional sense. I am a soul reader that when given permission to sit with another can sense and feel the essence of their heart and soul to convey information only through permission. And oftentimes it includes loved ones, current experiences, past experiences, sometimes even future experiences. And the most important soul things that are affecting the individual at the time. Oftentimes, my sessions do come with a lot of guidance. And in fact, I had a person recently saying, gosh, this sounds like a lot like counseling, and that's not what I thought this was going to be. And then I said, well, how are we to make changes unless we are to understand how? That my sessions are beyond just conveying information, that I want to be able to really assist souls. And that is the reason that I am back. And now that I've had this experience with my brother, I'm so excited to really pursue this with an even deeper sense of authenticity and genuineness and openness. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here and share my personal experiences. There is a lot more that I will be sharing, and I've been working on some incredible projects that I can't wait to share. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for allowing me the time to just share my personal experience in the hope that it might help and uplift others. In all that I do, may I help others feel better. May you have a beautiful day. Know that you are deeply loved.